Hi, welcome to the quiz. You will be presented with multiple choice questions, each displayed on screen for a short time. Please make sure to attempt answering all the questions. Quizzes help us to reinforce our knowledge, identify areas where we need to focus more, and improve our overall performance. Taking quizzes can also help to increase retention and make the learning process more engaging and enjoyable. With that out of the way, you can answer along on quizalto.com. The exact URL of this quiz will be in the notes down below. Let's get started. Good luck. What is the benefit of using elastic load balancing auto-scaling integration? Automatically adjusting the number of EC2 instances based on traffic. Automatically rotating encryption keys. Automatically resizing RDS storage. Automatically managing IAM user permissions. What is the primary benefit of using elastic load balancing with IPv6 support? Expanding the network address space. Reducing storage costs. Automating database backups. Enabling cross-region replication. What is the purpose of response timeout configuration in elastic load balancing? To limit the number of requests processed by the target instances. To specify the maximum time duration for a target to respond to a health check request. To adjust the load distribution based on real-time traffic demands. To configure the load balancer to drop connections after a certain period of inactivity. What are the different types of elastic load balancers available in AWS? Application load balancer, network load balancer, classic load balancer. Application load balancer, network balancer, traditional load balancer. Basic load balancer, advanced load balancer, elastic load balancer. Simple load balancer, complex load balancer, modern load balancer. What is the purpose of a classic load balancer in AWS? To provide advanced security features for applications. To store large amounts of data for analytics processing. To provide basic load balancing between multiple EC2 instances. To ensure compliance with data protection regulations. What is the primary role of the load balancer protocol in elastic load balancing? To enforce access controls for user requests passing through the load balancer. To manage encryption keys for secure data transmission between client and server. To determine how the load balancer and the target instances communicate. To adjust the load distribution based on network performance metrics. What is the main benefit of using a gateway load balancer with VPC endpoints? Faster data retrieval times. Improved security and performance for communication between services. Enhanced network scalability. Reduced disk I/O operations. What is a benefit of using elastic load balancing in AWS? Only supports HTTP traffic. Reduces security. Increases cost. Enables fault tolerance. How can a user configure cross-zone load balancing for an elastic load balancer? Update the security group rules. Enable the feature in the load balancer settings. Change the instance type. Adjust the subnet configurations. What is the benefit of using elastic load balancing in conjunction with auto-scaling? Requires manual intervention for scaling. Limits scalability. Increases latency. Automatically adjusts the number of instances in response to changing traffic patterns. What is the key advantage of using a classic load balancer with sticky sessions? Reducing network traffic. Maintaining session persistence for the same client. Compressing data for faster transmission. Automatically resizing database storage. What is the effect of enabling the proxy protocol on an elastic load balancer? Route traffic based on content. Increase the overhead of data transmission. Preserve client connection information. Encrypt all traffic passing through the load balancer. How does elastic load balancing help in reducing latency for incoming requests? By distributing traffic efficiently across multiple targets. By limiting available instances. By increasing manual intervention for scaling. By encrypting data in transit. What is a downside of using network load balancer in elastic load balancing for applications that require content-based routing? Requires separate load balancer management. Does not support content-based routing. Increases manual intervention for scaling. Limits scalability. What is the purpose of the X-forwarded for header in an elastic load balancer? To encrypt all traffic between the client and the load balancer. To provide a secure channel for requests between the target and the load balancer. To reveal the IP address of the client to the target instance. To store cookies and session data for client communication. What is the purpose of enabling access logs for an elastic load balancer? To track requests sent to the load balancer. To encrypt data at rest. To improve server performance. To automate infrastructure deployments. What is the purpose of connection draining in elastic load balancing? Allows in-flight requests to complete before instances are deregistered. Limits throughput. Encrypts data in transit. Increases response time. What is the purpose of health checks in elastic load balancing? Increase response time. Reduce throughput. Ensure that only healthy targets receive traffic. Encrypt data in transit. What is the advantage of using elastic load balancing with Amazon EKS for Kubernetes applications? Automatically registers and deregisters Kubernetes pods with the load balancer. Increases manual intervention. Limits scalability. Requires separate load balancer management. What is the benefit of using AWS Certificate Manager with elastic load balancing? Reduces scalability. Requires manual configuration for load balancing. Increases latency. Simplifies the management of SSL/TLS certificates. What is the purpose of configuring an idle connection timeout with elastic load balancing? Increasing the read capacity of the load balancer. Enabling cross-zone load balancing. Closing connections after a specified period of inactivity. Encrypting data in transit. How can a user configure connection draining on an elastic load balancer? Update the SSL certificate. Change the instance size. Adjust the load balancer subnet settings. Set the timeout threshold for registered instances. Why would a user enable the sticky session feature on an elastic load balancer? To route the same client's requests to the same target. To reduce network latency. To automatically manage database connections. To compress data before transmitting. What is the significance of the deregistration delay of a target in an elastic load balancer target group? The delay in processing data between the target and the load balancer. The delay in sending health check signals from the target to the load balancer. The time taken to reroute traffic to an alternate target when the primary one is unhealthy. The time interval before a target is removed from the load balancer when it is deregistered. What is a benefit of using elastic load balancing with Amazon Aurora for database applications? Increases manual intervention. Requires separate load balancer management. Limits scalability. Distributes read and write traffic seamlessly across Aurora replicas. And that's a wrap. Thanks to everyone who participated. Remember, you can answer along on quizalto.com, where you can keep track of your progress and find much more quizzes. We hope you had a fun and challenging time. Until next time. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more. Hit the bell icon to be notified as soon as we upload. Please leave a comment if you have any thoughts or suggestions, and if you think this video is worth sharing with someone who could benefit from it, please forward a link to them. See you next time. Thanks for watching.